Do, 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 do. Hey, how's everybody? Everybody okay? All right. So apparently there's some building in New York City that used to belong to one of the giant pharmaceutical companies. It's an office building, and they had decided to convert it to apartments, 1,600 apartments. So that's a pretty big building. They were adding floors like 21, 22 to 26 or something like that. And they were busy working on it. And they discovered that the building was collapsing. So they evacuated a square block of New York City, all the buildings that were there. And as this morning, they still there trying to figure out what's going on. I have no idea. I really don't. So we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Yeah, that's kind of scary, you know. No, I shouldn't say that. I lived at the 11th floor, was the highest I've ever lived, and that scared the shit out of me because I really don't like heights, but I handle them, you know what I mean? So I don't like to fly, but I handle it. I don't know if I could now, whether my system would hold up or not, you know. I do know I do not want to go into a MRI tube. They can open MRI or they can go fuck themselves, you know. I'm just not doing it. So, what else is going on? Guess what's getting drained again, folks? Oh, got it. The reflective pool in Washington. And I don't understand what's going on. They're draining the whole thing again. They're just, hire a pool company. Listen, I can't say we had a pool leak, and I don't know who they hired, but they went through two companies before the third one fixed it. The other two gave up, said it couldn't be fixed. Their last one fixed it. It's still fixed as far as I can tell. You know, it takes a special company to do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They have to have the ability to spray the concrete, and they spray it all at one time, so it's seamless. You need four or five. The size of that pool, you need 4 or 5, maybe more people spraying. Oh, I know, there's a lot of concrete being delivered. It would really screw up traffic or something. I don't know. But that takes care of those two things. Now, Walmart announced a reduction of barbecue supplies and summer supplies, price reduction, and Trump took credit for it. It's not the first time he's tried to take credit for Walmart's doing things. But in this case, he's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's typical normal sales for this time of the year. All the companies are doing it. You have to understand that the original price was so high, the sale doesn't as compared to last year, so. But people don't do that. They don't analyze. They just buy. And that's, the American way. That's what God gave him credit cards for. I'm sure Trump will take credit for that. This is the man that screwed his investors out of $7 billion since he's been president. The other question they have about Trump is, what is his fascination with communism now? Now, communism, as we know it from before back in the day of the Cold War and whatnot doesn't exist anymore. It's more of a it's a totalitarian, still a totalitarian government. But there was rumors to the fact that one of the reasons Kennedy got shot was that he had said that communism in its truest form may be a better form of government than democracy. So that really scared the shit out of people, and they went about their thing, and that's one of the reasons they think he got shot. I don't think so. There's a lot of reasons for it. Of course, we'll never know for sure, but there's a lot of reasons out there. My thing is, we have a lot to worry about in this country. Communism isn't one of them right now. Fascism is, because fascism is what's going on in here. Racism is, white supremacists is. No need to get upset about communism. They don't spy anymore. They don't have to. Trump just, publishes all the information and sends it to them. So that's just that's just a massive distraction because people are still afraid of the word communism. Fascism doesn't bother them as much because fascism is basically white supremacism and anti-Semitism, which are apparently two big things going on in this country right now. People don't understand what started this country, how it got started, what it's all about. They don't know anything. And I don't know everything. There's a lot I still get surprised by every day when I read something about this, Oh, excuse me. How many people go out and try to exercise their rights that they have every day to see if they actually work? How the courts fight you when you try to push to get things right away. Like you're entitled to a rapid trial. Lawyers don't like that because they get billed by the hour, so they fight it. They make you depositions and stuff like that. A trial by your peers. Well, let's see. I was a bartender, so I don't want any billionaires or business executives or white-collar schmucks on my jury. It's not going to happen. You're going to get them. It's the definition of the word peers. I don't want an 80. When I was 25, I didn't want an 80-year-old guy in court. If I was going to go to, I never went to court, by the way, but I went to court as a witness and all that kind of stuff, but I never went to court because of something I did. Probably should have a couple of times, but I think we can all say that. What else is happening? I don't know. Trump's taking credit. Communism is a thing that still bothers me. I mean, that's just old school. Nobody's complained about communism for years, and Trump's there saying it's the reason this is that, and this is the reason they're doing that. And excuse me, Donald, but most of what you're doing is fascism. And before you start going around telling people that they're communists and they're bad people, I'm not so sure they are. I think it's like any government, and you see that here more than you do any place else right now, is how good the government is depends on the people who are running it. The laws, what's on the paper, he's trying to change it. Trump is trying to change everything to take away our civil rights. Because civil rights belong to everybody, and he doesn't think they should have it, that everybody should have these rights. He only believes that he and people like him should rule the country. Royalty, Unfortunately for him, is if he ever tried to put his son or son-in-law into power, I think they would shoot them. and there would be a revolution, and they'd bring back the guillotine and everything else, you know. But that's Donnie's problem. That's not my problem. So what happened? Let's see. The USA got beat 4-1, I think it was. That'll teach Trout to open his mouth up. Uh, and then what I hate to see in that sport is the penalty kicks. Colombia lost to Switzerland or Sweden. I always get the two confused. But anyhow, they lost to them on penalty kicks. Of course, the one player kicks the ball 12 feet over the net. Now, I've seen Messier do that. Okay, there's that's not an accident. That's very difficult to happen by accident, from what I'm told. I don't know. They said if you don't see the player actually slip, and his feet are planted firmly, he's deliberately doing it. I don't know whether to say that they deliberately threw the game or not, but you know, the other team did score 2 penalty kicks, so you know you have to score to win, and the best thing they could have done was kept playing, you know. But you hate to see that because two teams play their heart out, you know, and they don't. There's no winner, technically speaking. These penalty kicks. I would keep playing 15-minute quarters till one team died of exhaustion or one team actually scored. You know, I think that's what should be done. That would make the game much, much more interesting. But you see, they've got time constraints, TV, and everything like that. They don't know how to. They would be giving away. They would actually be giving away free commercials in the extra time. You know, so who knows? That's one of the reasons they don't want to do it. Anyhow, what else is going on? Lucy's got a problem. Uh, she's not here right now. She's laying down on my bed. She keeps licking her privates and making a mess out of everything. So I don't know what the story is there. I'm going to try some stuff. And then if that doesn't work, I have to call a doctor. Uh, it appears to be like she almost has an irritation down there. And I use various wipes and stuff down there. You know, it just doesn't seem to be doing any good. I love this dog, but she keeps me up all night licking and then makes big wet spots on the bed. And her breath stinks from licking her ass. So anyhow, people, I know. Anyhow, we'll get that taken care of. Otherwise, she's healthy. She's just, you know, a little skittish when somebody comes near her butt because it hurts. And I looked at it, it's red and inflamed, so that's hemorrhoids, I guess. So I don't know if there's a hemorrhoid cream for dogs, but we'll see, you know. What else is happening in the world? Not much. I'm very concerned about that building. I don't know how that worked out, you know. It wasn't the existing building, it was part they added on. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, this is people trying to 1,600 apartments in 26, 27-story building. We have 28-story buildings down here, and we get what do I have here on this floor? I have 4 apartments to the floor. And that's, you know, there's more in the new ones because the floors are bigger. All right. You know, they're about twice the size of, the apartments are smaller and the floors are bigger. So you can fit probably 8 apartments to a floor or something like that now. I don't know. So anyhow, my favorite for the World Cup is Argentina. You know, but France is the projected winner, by everybody. But I'm going to go with Argentina. Just a guy like Messi. I think he's a nice guy. He played. I mean, he played in the last game they played. They played to two extra periods, and he played the whole time. He never sat down. You get James, the Colombian star. He plays a half, and he's done. It was a half too long, if you ask me. But anyhow, all right, listen up, listen up, listen up. It's the end of the day for me. Today's Wednesday, Hump Day. I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Everybody have a good day. Try not to break anything in your house, which I did this morning. I picked up a frying pan full of eggs and the handle broke and it went all over the floor and everything. And I'm just pissed beyond belief. All right, everybody take care. We'll see you mañana.